All right, so as you would say, shut up and do it. Let's get into it.
Shut up and do it.
We
mate.
are here, Mindset Matters, episode 1. Daniel Smith, a pleasure to be here at Smith Media HQ. Fantastic facility, isn't it?
It's cool in here, isn't it?
There's some inspiring stuff you can't see on camera, but there's some gorgeous pictures here, and there's some frame photographs. It's a lovely venue. So
It's nice.
Is it quite inspiring working here? Would you say?
Yeah, you know what? It's with all the colours and stuff, and the brightness of the room. It's a real good creative space. So when you're thinking of content and designing
Yeah.
strategies and stuff like that, it's really good for to be creative and
Yeah.
be in that creative mindset.
So you've not got like just an empty box, and it's like starting
No,
from nothing.
not sat in your room.
Yeah,
Not sat in your room just with your boxes on, with your cup of tea.
It's a bit more professional.
Yeah, a little bit more professional than
Oh,
that.
that's good. That's what we want. So thank you for coming on the show. It's a pleasure to have you here. You got a cup of coffee in case you want some. Let's get straight into it. So first question I've got for you is I want to know a bit about your story in business. So you're a social media man, young gun, coming into business. Kind of where have you come from? What's your kind of story?
So I've actually come from a personal training background. So I used to work in a gym.
Nice.
I used to spend a lot of time with. Used to work over in Skipton, so there's quite a few pensioners over there. So I used to spend a lot of time with old people.
Oh really?
Yeah.
What, training them?
Yeah, training them. So just sort of keeping them fit more than anything. So
Brilliant.
walking them through stuff and sort of just walking up and down stairs and
Oh, brilliant.
just talking to them and having a bit of a chinwag about their lives and stuff. Yeah, actually really good.
See, that's unusual because like most people say personal training, you're thinking, 6
Yeah,
a.m.
no.
Really intense class, but it's actually providing quality of life.
Yeah, well, obviously there was that as well, but the
Yeah.
wide majority of stuff, yeah, it was
Brilliant.
people just wanting to stay fit, and stay healthy, and that's something that for me personally, I really wanted to promote.
Yeah.
Was the health
Yep.
factor, physically and
Absolutely.
mentally and emotionally.
Absolutely.
Of just keeping fit and just keeping going.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did that for 2 or 3 years.
Mhm.
I just worked my way up and I ended up in management of a gym.
Nice.
And the gym that I was working at, they wanted to get more sales in. So me being in my 20s, I thought, well, first place to look is social media. So I jumped straight on Facebook, set up a Facebook account, set up the Facebook page,
Mhm.
the Twitter, the Instagram, blah blah blah, and just started posting stuff out. It wasn't even necessarily great content. Just smashed it out.
Just doing it.
Just do
Get
it.
out there.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Because the content was there, because there was stuff going on all the time. Different people coming in and out, so there was stuff going on all the
Interesting
time.
stuff.
So from a content point of view, it was quite straightforward, and then I knew what I was talking about.
Yeah.
So we'd sometimes send out articles and stuff about how to run 5K in 5 weeks, and stuff like that.
Stuff appropriate to your audience.
Yeah, exactly. So started on social media.
Brilliant. So right from the start, it's all about the action. It's literally, it's like, right, let's just do what I'm good at and let's just
That's
do something.
it. That's
create
it.
something.
Yeah. Well, people my age have grown up with it, so
Yeah.
it was like, well, I already know what engages me.
Yeah.
So why don't I just do what engages me?
Yeah,
Do you know what I
absolutely.
mean? So
Absolutely.
what I started doing was, like I said, just banging out content, and then with the occasional boosted ad and stuff like that. Got a promo video in, some professional photographers. I just made it look a really, really good gym. It was only a small place, but by the end of the year, we'd end up not doubling, not tripling, but quadrupling sales. Now, obviously, that's not all just down to me because there was a whole team.
But that's the result. You can't lie with the numbers.
But it was a bit of a coincidence that as the social media really kicked off, the sales started.
And that's a big
kicking off.
increase, isn't it? Quadruple. It's not like
Yeah,
just 20%.
huge as well, and all in contracts as well, all in 12-month contracts.
Wow.
So for the next 12 months, so they'll actually still be in a contract now at that gym, even though I've left.
They're still benefiting from you.
Yeah. So,
Legacy sorted.
Yeah, boom.
Thank you very
Smashed
much.
it. Yeah.
Move on.
I still talk to my old boss now. Actually,
You're still welcome.
Yeah. I still talk to him every now and then.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So background. Yeah, and I just fell in love with it, and I was just like, well, I've obviously got a knack for it. I've always been a creative person. I'm always coming up with wacky stuff and ideas. So I started off just doing that, and there wasn't really much strategy So that's something from my personal development, what I then went into. So I really started thinking about, right, okay, what is the idea of success?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, right, okay, so the idea of success would be to have more guys on the website, more guys coming into the gym, and that's something that I apply throughout our clients now. So something that I ask is, what is your idea of success? Which I think I've asked you before.
Yeah.
So
what, didn't we?
What's your idea of success? So
all
right, do you want more website traffic? All right, okay. So that push that then.
Yeah.
Push that.
So it's like starting with the outcome. So really, two things I can hear you saying in terms of like what a person thinks when they put out their content is thinking in the shoes of the person who's looking at it.
Exactly.
So it's saying like, would I find this engaging? Would I enjoy this?
100%. Yeah. Before you press that post button, think, would I share this post or would I like this post?
Yeah.
If the answer's no, you need to delete the whole thing and start again.
Absolutely.
You do.
Absolutely.
And you do because if it's not right, it's not right.
Yeah. Definitely. So there's an integrity to it, isn't it?
100%.
You not just feel like I'm just ticking boxes and doing this. It's like, look, I'm doing this properly.
It's not a tick box. No, it's not a tick box exercise at all.
Yeah.
No.
Because people pick up on that, don't they? They're quite savvy.
Too right, especially people my age.
Yeah, because you've grown up with it.
Grown up with it.
Yeah.
And if you aren't authentic and you aren't genuine about what you're doing, and it's obvious you just want people to go to your website because you want to sell them something, it's just going to switch off and they're not going to be bothered.
Definitely. So the first thing we're thinking about is we're saying, okay, it's thinking of what they be thinking, and it's also thinking about the outcome. So like you say, if you have a certain outcome for a client, so if you're working with a client, you need to work towards that outcome, not kind of just put something out there and hope something happens.
Too right. Yeah, so there needs to be a method in madness. So you need, like I say, you need to have this idea of success, and you need to think about what's valuable to you as the marketer, but think about what's valuable to the people that you're marketing to, and don't think of them as a market as such. Think of them as a community of people, and talk to them as people. Yeah, just come from an authentic place. So you really need to get across that what you're doing is valuable and it's important and it can help somebody's life or it can benefit somebody's life in some way.
Yeah, definitely.
It needs to have that value before anything can happen. Because if you're just going to start banging out 3 times a day the same post saying buy now 20% off, people
you're asking for something.
Yeah,
you're saying I'm gonna take something from you. I'm not giving you anything.
Yeah.
You don't even know me, but I'm gonna. It's nice to meet you. Let me take this from you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You don't know me, but go to my website. It's 20% off.
Yeah.
And you just look at it like,
why? Why should I?
Yeah. You're alright, mate.
See, that's really interesting because you make the point about saying like you've grown up on this. So like I'm a bit older than you, and I was talking to a guy in his 20s. He's 24. And he was saying, but I've been building websites for 10 years. And I did the math and I was like, yeah, you're right. If you started at this 14, you will have done this. So when you're talking about this, and I know some people look at younger people especially, and they're like, well, they're only in their 20s or this. But it's like, but for the last 10 years, I've been doing this in a way that you're only just understanding now. So in a way, you're at a massive advantage, not a disadvantage. Would you say that's accurate?
100%. Yeah. I think especially in the digital industry, it is not an advantage, but it's not a disadvantage to be young in this industry. Yeah, it's not.
It's more about your experience and the way you're looking at it.
It's all about can you deliver?
Can you do it? Yeah.
Can you deliver?
Yeah.
If you can deliver, then that's it.
And so that's something that we were saying off camera, weren't we? One of your phrases that was your best friend said, because you've been talking about it. What did he say to you?
Yeah, he just said, "Shut up, man, just do it."
Shut up and do it.
Yeah, and well, this was when I was working at the gym,
and
I was saying, I've got something here. I'm really good at this social media. I think about setting up on my own and going for it. He just went, "Oh yeah." I went, "You don't believe me?" It's like, "Well, you just talk a lot, don't you? Just shut up. If you're gonna do it, just do it."
Yeah.
And then I was like, "All right then." Yeah. And then I handed him my notice that the next day.
Wow.
And I was just like, "Right, let's do it."
So when he said that to you, did that resonate? Did it something just kind of go? Did the penny drop? Was it that?
Yeah, it did drop, and then also it was like, when he was like, "Shut up and do it," I was like, "Well, why don't I?" Because at the end of the day, if if I would have made, well, I did make the jump, but in my head I was like, if I make the jump and it doesn't work, then I'll just find another job.
Yeah.
And I was like, for me, I've got the ability to be like, right, I can try these things. I can try 1,000,001 things, and if they don't work, then they don't work. But at least I've given it a good go.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? That's my mindset behind stuff.
I think that's really important to take a minute to talk about that, because I think it's something that scares a lot of people, because they think like, well, what if I try this and it doesn't work?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, first of all, what if you try and it does?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
secondly, if it doesn't work, you can try something else. So like, I always think a really good example is like, like an ant, really clever, all work together, and they're walking in a line. You stick something in front of an ant, it will stop.
Yeah.
Go back. And a lot of people do that. They'll stop and they'll just go back.
Yeah.
Whereas it's like, well, if you actually just go even just that further, you can look at it a different way. Or, yeah, it doesn't work. It didn't work. Don't worry about it. Try something else.
Yeah, man.
That ability to think kind of laterally.
Yeah.
And think outside the box kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that's speaking to a lot of kind of younger people, because again, I sound like I'm old, but like people in the 20s, people in the teens, and they're like, yeah, I'll try this because it's valuable to me. But if that doesn't work, I've got the ability to go there and try that. And whereas sometimes I think you can get a bit fixed and say like, well, this is all I know. It's like, well, up until this point, you're 55. That could be young if you're going to be around another 40 years. So
that's true.
Would you say it's that ability to just kind of like, so I'll do it, I'll get into it, I'll give it everything, and if it doesn't work, that's okay. I'll change my perspective and go at it another way.
That's it.
Yeah. Would you say that is something that you kind of keep in mind, or is it something you don't really think about?
It's not something I think about. Thinking from not even a business term, just anything in general. If I fail at it, then
you fail at it.
Then you learn from it, and then you can either go again and use that knowledge that you've acquired, or you can do something else.
Yeah.
So crying about it.
Well, it's kind of that thing, isn't it? It's like you say, there's the event, but it's like, how are you seeing that? It's like I think it's often sometimes the fear of failing is worse than the actual failure.
Too right. Yeah.
You
Exactly.
fail, and it's like, well,
yeah.
when you do actually fail, it's like, okay, that's happened. Oh, I better move on and do this.
Yeah.
Whereas the idea before, what if it does? And it's like, well, what if it does? And when it did, was it that bad? And it's usually
something that I think about a lot is when I'm like in my 60s, or 70s or 80s or however old, and I'm looking back on stuff, and I'm like, all right, what if when I was 20 I had to set up that social media business?
Yeah.
What would have happened? And I hate the idea of that. If anything, that's something that I'm fearful of.
Yeah.
Thinking when it gets to a point in the future, and I'm looking back, thinking, I didn't do that. I wish I did. Yeah. And that to me is a fear, and in my eyes, that to me would be failure.
Definitely.
In my eyes.
Because it's that regret, because you can't do anything about it. That's the difference. And we met up a couple of weeks ago, and I want to publicly say thank you, because you've helped to inspire this show, and some of the things you said to me, you were like, you got some great ideas, just do it.
Yeah, man.
Change that, do that.
Just do it. Shut up and do it,
yeah,
man.
Absolutely. But I think one of the things that really hit me, we talk about Gary Vee a lot, we love Gary Vee's stuff, his idea of putting out valuable stuff, but also caring about people. I think a lot of people don't, I didn't get it at first, but you watch enough of his stuff and the message starts coming.
Yeah.
And he said a brilliant thing, which we were talking about, and it was saying, well, the time's going to pass anyway. So say, if we put out, a certain amount of videos, say it's 50 videos in a year, or, in 10 years that's 500 videos. And the 10 years are going to pass anyway. So you can either be 10 years later going, and here's our 500 quality videos that help to these people.
Yeah.
Or 10 years gone by and I had that idea, but I just didn't quite feel up to it.
Yeah.
It'll be there, won't it? You shut up, you did it, and there's the proof.
Boom.
I think it's that ability to see that as well, isn't it? It's not going anywhere.
And luckily for me, it's paying off.
Yeah.
So taking that jump was the right thing for me.
Brilliant.
And I love what I do. So if you love what you do, you enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, it comes across definitely. So if you tell us a bit about what would you say is your favourite bit? Is it working with the client for the first time? Is it helping them to understand things? Is it when they get the results? Is it a combination of all three?
I would say it's a combination of all three, but I'd also say it's almost that penny drop moment.
Yeah.
Where you'll get a phone call from a client or a text from a client or whatever, and they go, this is working. This all makes sense now.
Yeah.
So all this stuff you talked about, it does make sense, and I can see that it's working.
Yeah,
like, brilliant. That's great.
Because I think there's a tendency, isn't there, to kind of talk about it beforehand, but it's like, say, doing it and looking back on it.
I would say a lot of business owners and business leaders' fears around social media is because they've not tried it. They don't know if it is going to work. So sometimes when I'm talking to people and they're like, oh, like, I don't know if it's going to work. And then I think it's the relief thing as well from their point of view, like, oh, that worked. Yeah. Brilliant, that worked. And I think that for me is something that gives me a bit of a kick. Like, definitely. I told you so.
Yeah.
I told you it'd work.
Well, it's almost like personal training, isn't it? You know, they turn up and they're a bit shy and they're like, I don't know if this is going to get me fitter.
Yeah, and they come back and they're aching.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm really sore. But then in 6 months and they're doing
the results.
And they're smashing 5K. They're smashing all their personal bests, and they turn around and say, thanks for that.
Yeah.
And you go, no worries.
Yeah. It's exciting though, isn't it? And that's the thing, this is, I'd say for somebody who's watching this kind of going, yeah, but what if it doesn't work? I'd say look at the trends, look at this phone and how influential it is. The fact we can film this show now, people can watch it the same day.
Yep.
You know, the trends are going to carry on that way.
Yep.
You know, the technology will change, but it's not going anywhere.
No.
So it's like, kind of like, there is a moment where you have to kind of say, I need to kind of get on board with this thing. It may not be, you don't have to do videos necessarily, it might be blogging or it might be, you know, different things. But it's not going anywhere, is it?
Yeah.
The internet isn't going to disappear tomorrow.
Hopefully not. Else I'll be out of job.
Yeah. We do no more shows.
Yeah.
So let's just think for a second about the opposite. Let's be dead honest, because I went to a recent event in Lancashire and it was a growth hub thing done by Boost Business Lancashire, and you know they exist to support businesses, and there's some brilliant characters, and one of the things that I really personally found interesting was they said, right, come on, yeah, it's all good, tell us about your failures, tell us about that time when it went wrong, tell us what you learned from that. So, you know, without getting too personal, I bet there's moments where you've done something and you go, I should have done that, I didn't do that. You know, it might be on social media, it might be on a campaign, you know, it might be just something like, for me personally, I know on Instagram, I've been learning a lot about Instagram recently, about tagging and about even just little things like putting your location so that somebody sees it more.
Ooh.
You know, so...
That's a good question.
All right, well, let's break it down. In your business social media, yeah, with Smith Media, something you're thinking, right, we now do this, we didn't do it from the start. It wasn't always like that.
Well, actually, it's actually the other way around. It's something that we did.
Okay.
That we shouldn't have. So
right.
when we first set up as Smith Media, we'd set up as a full digital agency.
So like you offer everything.
So we go to a client and say, oh, right, we can do the whole shebang for you.
Website, SEO,
the whole thing.
Social media, pictures.
Can do it, can smash it out for you, no problem at all. But that wasn't our field.
Yeah.
Web design isn't our field. SEO isn't our field. Social media is our field.
Definitely.
So when I'd have clients asking me questions about it, I'd be like, I'd know, but like it'd either be I'd have to sort of scramble around in my head and pluck out the information, or I'd be like, let me get my web guys on that and I get back to you.
Yeah.
But I didn't like that.
No.
I didn't like because
you don't feel like you're really helping them as best as you can.
Nope.
I know for a fact that I definitely know that feeling. It's when you're in a situation you're like, look, I want to help. I've got these skills. It is valuable, but this particular way, it's not getting the best out of both of us, is it?
Yeah.
It'd be better to focus on this aspect. Like say, like social media stuff. So did you figure that out quite quickly?
No.
It took a while.
No, it did. It took me maybe like 6 or 7 months to figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean, we're only just coming up to like 1 year now, but still, that's still quite a long time. So I met this guy called Steve Logan.
Oh yeah.
And
I know Steve. Where's his waistcoat?
Yeah, there's one on the waistcoat.
If he's watching, hi Steve.
So I was speaking to Steve about this full digital marketing agency, and they were like, "Why?"
Good question.
Like, is that what you do though? I said, "Well, yeah, it's what we do." He said, "Yeah, but what are you good at?" So, well, social media. I said, "Well, just do that."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, all right." And I just sort of like left it to one side, and then it's clicked maybe within the last month.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll just do social media. Like, I'll just do what I'm good at.
Yeah.
Just do that.
Because that's what you love and that's what you can help.
And that's what. Yeah. So instead of being like, so now, instead of thinking, oh, I need to get the quote for that web design. No, I don't think about that anymore. I'm just thinking about, right, I can do this. I can smash that out. I can do that. And then if somebody wants a web designing, I can direct them in the into the right place.
Yeah.
And I'll just say, oh, so and so, here's a client for web design. Is what they know, blah, blah, blah. And I might sit in the meeting and we might work together as a group on a project. Brilliant. But it won't be me that does the website. Yeah. And it's not me who takes credit for it.
I think that's really important to be able to say that, because like I know with what I've been trying to do, talk about mindset and talking about the way you look at things, it'd be very easy to go, you know, I've worked as a personal trainer, so I'll train you as well, and I'll do this and I'll do that. But it's like you say, it's that ability to kind of go, right, I want to specialise in this, I'm interested in this whole area, but being humble enough to say, I could do that for you, this person will do a better job. I'd like to work on this. I think that takes humility to be able to say, at this stage, right now, or even like, I'm sure like you might at some point have a client or a situation, something could happen, and you don't take the contract. Yeah. Because it's not the right time, or
which I've done before.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us a bit? Obviously, you can.
Well. You, for example. No, honestly.
Well, tell me about. So we met up, didn't we?
We met up, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then I originally come into it like, okay, how can I help this guy do better on social media and increase engagement, blah blah blah. And then I was like, but he don't really need me. He doesn't. And I was just like, well, he's got all the content himself, and he can do it. He can do it himself. So the best thing I can do is just sort of come along with you for the ride, and then that's where it come from, isn't it?
But it's true. We had a great conversation, and you were just giving me tips, and it was just those little things like you were saying. Like, it's sometimes great as well to have someone to bounce off. So we were talking about Gary Vee, talking about value, talking about content, giving it out for free. Yeah. And sometimes just have another person to go, do it, man. Like you say, you know, just shut up and do it.
Shut up and do it.
And it was that ability to just be almost like a sounding board.
Yeah.
To just say, yeah, go on, mate, go for it.
Yeah, man.
You know, so and like say, here we are. So I think that's really, really good.
Exactly.
Because I think people get that.
Yeah, but then on the flip side, so for you, it's something like I'd be like, right, brilliant, you can do it. Like you don't need me. You don't need me to hold your hand. But then there's other guys who just don't understand, and they don't know how, and they don't have the skills to do so. So then I'd be like, okay, so this is what we need to do. This is why we're doing it. Blah blah blah. We can do this. We can do that. We can sort this out for you.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Which is great. Yeah, which is what they want.
Yeah.
Because not everybody. I think that's the thing with social media. Saying social media is like saying media, or it's like saying fitness, or it's like saying TV. There's a lot to it.
Yeah.
And like you say, you might have a small, a 2-person band cleaning company in Chorley, and then you might have a accountancy firm from Preston that've been going for 20 years. And they'll have different budgets. Some people might want to get really involved, but some people might not. Yeah. And so is it for you the ability to think and pivot and kind of go, right, like you said right at the start, that's what they need.
Yeah.
And we'll do it that way.
Yeah.
They need something different.
Yeah.
And we'll do it that way.
Everyone needs something different.
So it's that flexibility to kind of make it kind of really bespoke, but it has to be.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be. There's no one size fits all, especially on social media.
Yeah.
It's so versatile and there's so much competition out there. So for what you do and what I do, there's millions of other competitions that do what we do.
Yeah, but I think that the interesting thing, and I told her I'd give her a shout out. So hi Hebe, Hebe's watching this. So I was talking to a young accountant this morning at a networking event, and she's great on Instagram, and she actually shared a personal story, which was her boyfriend challenged her to get an extra 1,000 followers on Instagram because she loves it, and she got an extra 3,000 followers, and all that, which was impressive. But I was saying to her, you should do vlogging. Because again, after we were talking, I was thinking, I've always wanted to do it, and I just you gave me the nudge. And she said, well, I've set up the channel, I wouldn't know what to talk about. So straight away I talked about, the difference between content and documenting. Yeah. So you don't always need to produce rabbit out of the hat, sometimes you just want to document something.
Yeah.
And then I said, well, if you've got these followers, and even 10% of them go from your Instagram to YouTube to watch, I said, I'll subscribe, so I've subscribed to it, and we help each other, and we were commenting on each other's videos and things like that. I think I've called it cross-pollination. Mm-hmm. You know, people don't really realise, like YouTube, for example, it's hard to grow YouTube. Yeah. But if you're promoting it on Instagram through the kind of person you are and the brands you're putting out, people will click on it, won't they? They'll check it out. Mm-hmm. Would you be able to just expand a bit on that? Because I think there's a lot of misunderstanding about how they all kind of work together. I think people can get it in isolation. They're like, right, Twitter, I get it, you know, current top trends, or Instagram, it's a bit more personal, or Facebook, you know. Would you be able to expand a bit on, how they all kind of work together?
All right. Okay.
Some's greater than the parts, kind of thing.
Yeah. So something that me and you spoke about was the different roles that platforms have, and how you can utilize them. So I would say think of an overall topic of what you're going to talk about, and then from that basis, then sort of think, okay, this will work with the topic in mind. If I word it this way or format it this way, it'll work better on Instagram.
Yep.
If I talk about the same thing and put it on Facebook, it'll work this way, on YouTube this way, on Twitter this way. So you can have the same topic in mind, but if you tailor it to each network and each platform, you'll create this overall thing and it'll all tie together. And also if you can word it in different ways. So something we were speaking about with the YouTube video, difference between the YouTube video and the Facebook, is your YouTube will be like a longer video, and the LinkedIn, the Suburban one, LinkedIn, it'll be a longer video.
And people will fine with that because that's what they're there for.
Yeah, but on Facebook, you want to do shorter ones. You'll want to do maybe 30-second burst videos,
definitely,
and be like more like, oh, try this, or did you know if you do this, this will happen type thing.
Exactly.
And little short bursts, because people are a lot more. The retention span's a lot lower on Facebook.
Yeah.
There's just people to switch off because there's so much going on. There's so much content out there.
It's like there's two things we said right at the start. It's like, why are they watching it? Get in their heads.
Yeah.
I'm there to be entertained. I want to watch something short and impressive, and then think of the outcome for it. It's like I just want you to just like the video, just giving it you for free. Cause,
and then so somebody who might find your content on Facebook and they might find it useful. They'll go and see Facebook and they'll become a fan of your Facebook, and they're like, oh, this guy's on YouTube. Want to know more about this guy?
It works.
So then they find you on YouTube, and then they watch a 15-20 minute video.
Yeah, I mean,
and it all ties in.
That's so helpful, because I know for a fact I've been doing that. So if anybody's watching this thinking like, would that actually work? I've been doing that for 2 weeks now since we had a meet.
Yep.
And I found so much, because you get clarity of thought. You're thinking, so for example, I'm sure one of the things that makes you cringe, you see somebody's created something and it's the same across all platforms.
Yeah, just copy and paste it.
Copy and paste it. Do. So you've got like, an Instagram thing full of filters, looks really personal, great for Snapchat, great for Instagram. You whack it on your LinkedIn and it's just cringe, isn't it?
Yeah, and it doesn't fit in the border.
No, even those basics, it's like a heart, it's all been cropped off.
And they've got the text cut off the sides.
Yeah. Yeah. So you say that, if people watching, they want not to do this, want to don't do this. So that's number one on the don't do list.
Don't
be copy and pasted.
Face palm moment. Definitely.
But again, it's like we said before, you've put that out for yourself, as opposed to thinking this would be really helpful on this platform if I deliver it in this way. So I know, for example, inspired by you, I've started thinking of practical things, 30 seconds. So it was like thinking out the difference in your patience between like having an elastic band and a bucket. Or one's got a limited amount, one's more like flexible.
Yeah.
So that it's valuable, it's short, it's snappy, you can try something with it. But then you wouldn't talk about that for maybe like half an hour on YouTube unless it was something.
Yeah, because how much can you talk about that for?
Exactly, you go and be like, well, you can get a pink one.
Yeah.
Or you can wear it on your foot.
Yeah.
You
can have a few and you can run it up your arm.
Yeah. So that's something that I think that people don't understand as well. Can you just tell people just something practical about the difference between kind of like creating new content and more kind of documenting? Because I think that's where people get a bit confused as well. They're like, is this interesting? Is this relevant? Or then sometimes I know people can feel a bit scared, going like, well, what do I talk about? Because they're like I say, they want to feel. So can you talk about the difference in what documenting something looks like, and then like what creating some new content looks like?
So when you're documenting something, you're just sort of going about what is happening on a day-to-day basis. What is it that you do?
Yeah.
To provide value, and then creating the content would be like, okay, this is the message that we want to say, this is how we're going to deliver it.
Yep.
So you might create an image or a promo video or something like that, and you create it on that particular topic. However, like when you're documenting something, you might just show them around your office.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you know what, I just had a thought, what if you do this and then this will happen? So the difference between documenting and creating content,
but they can work together, can't they?
Of course they can.
So like someone who's watched one of your things and it's really inspired them, or it's really they've got something valuable from it, and then they watch you and they think, I want to know a bit more about his life, or they've watched the thing about the life, and they're like, so I want to learn a bit about what he does.
Yeah. So say for you, for example, you might document like, oh, I've been for a meeting here and I've done this, I've done that. Oh, we talked about blah blah blah. So that would be your documenting video, and then you create a video. You'd be like, did you know that blah blah blah? And if you try this will happen, and get your message across that way. So your documenting thing will be more like people getting to know you.
Yeah.
And then the creating the content side would be people understanding the value of what you do.
Yeah, and I think that's a brilliant clarification that you've expressed in the thinking, because I think a lot of people, including myself, it's understanding. So, for example, you've got somebody who's not comfortable on camera, they don't want to do videos, that's fine. They can create brilliant written content. Stick to that.
Yeah, man.
Or audio, which I want to talk about as well.
Yeah.
Or somebody else is a lot more kind of like, I love to take pictures, I love to video everything. Great, document it. So it's kind of like matching to your strengths.
Yeah.
I think the confusion can be kind of coming where, like, you know, someone who's happy creating content, professional content, they don't want to document. You don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to be all things to all people, do you?
Yeah, too right.
It's not about like saying this is my whole life.
Yeah. It's interesting you say that. I had a message. Someone got in touch with me, and they were on about social media, and they were just like, I understand it. I understand the importance, but I just don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy creating the content. So I was like, all right. So I was like, send me a link to your Facebook page and stuff like that, and I'll have a look. So I went on and I had a look. I had a look on the Twitter and the Instagram, and it's boring. It's just boring.
So what they were saying about not enjoying it was just obvious in the content.
You could tell that they weren't enjoying it.
That's sad.
Yeah, and that was my reply. I was like, you don't enjoy it. You don't enjoy creating the content because your content is boring.
Yeah.
You need to talk about interesting stuff. So why do you find value in what you do, and why is that valuable to the person?
Just express that.
Yeah.
Just go from there.
Yeah. You talk about what you enjoy talking about.
Play to your strengths.
Play to your strengths.
So I've got to ask you, because I've got two really probing questions I want to ask you. I really want to know what you think of it. So we could sit here and speculate, you know, where digital media is going, social media is going, 5 years, 10 years, you know. But there's only three forms, really, isn't there? There's written content, blogs, articles, there's videos in various forms, and there's audio.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know the audio has been on the rise, podcasts, Alexis, you know, asking Alexis, all that kind of stuff. Would you say that a person should try and be all things to all people, or should they pick one, or should they kind of just see how it goes? What would you know, to somebody watching this thing, like, I don't know where to start?
Be where people are.
Okay, can you tell us a bit more about that? What do you
Yeah, so if you're a family fun theme park, you know that, well, you might not know, but you should know that the mums of the children and the dads and the parents are probably going to be on Facebook.
Yep.
And the kids are going to be on Instagram.
Yeah.
So do Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
Do it well and do it right.
So keeping it simple.
Yeah, what's the point of being on Twitter? Well, obviously there's a point to it. There's benefits.
But not for that particular
100%.
scenario. Yeah.
I mean, take the same guys. They could have a Twitter account, no problem. But they'd see the most results on the Facebook and the Instagram account. So why not double down, triple down on those two platforms and do that? And it'd be the same with the blogs and the articles. If most of your audience are more likely to read it,
it's worth it.
Then do that. Yeah. And also, if you enjoy writing articles and you're good at writing articles, then write an article, man.
Yeah. Like you're saying, we come back to not trying to be all things to all people.
Yeah.
It's just that little tweak. Yeah.
Yeah.
So somebody's watching this now going, I don't like documenting on Instagram and I just don't feel it's helpful.
Don't do it then.
Yeah, you people aren't there, don't bother.
Yeah.
So it's being able to say what you don't do as well as what you do.
Do.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, so I have to ask you, you know, cards on the table time, where's this all going, man? This social media thing. Where's it going? You know, next year, 2 years, 5 years? Any ideas, any predictions?
I think that what will happen is there will be a device like Alexa or something like that.
Yeah.
And we'll be talking about going on holiday to somewhere. Oh, where do you fancy going? Oh, Dominican Republic. Oh, you fancy that? Right, wicked, no problem. And then what will happen is this device will pop up, all these holidays to do with Dominican Republic. I'm like, all right, wicked, book that one,
Just user interface, click and book.
Yeah, I think
5 seconds done.
Yeah, I think that's where it's going. That's big time.
I think you're right in saying no matter how that plays out, that kind of integration, even things like controlling your heating from your phone, it's all becoming more kind of centralized. It's all less. So the fact your iPhone or your Android has all the different devices in one now.
Yeah.
So it's going to carry on in kind of that kind of way.
Yeah. People want to do things in the least amount of time and the least amount of effort possible.
Definitely. Yeah. So it's going to take that form. So when we're watching this video back, I'll be interested to see.
Yeah, so in 5 minutes time we'll go back and we're like, nailed it! Boom.
Absolutely, I predicted that.
Yeah.
So again, keeping in the future, looking to the future. So Smith Media, been going for a year now. What's the big picture? Where are we going? What are you trying to do?
So for the time being, we're just providing value. We're just trying to, not trying to. We're figuring out I call it the voice of the business.
Okay. And what's that mean?
So, family fun trampoline park, accounting agency, they both got different voices of how they talk to their audience. So family fun theme park, really fun, really light-hearted, probably a load of emojis. Accountancy agency.
Not so many emojis.
Not so many emojis. More professional, more and more informative, maybe a little bit more wordy.
So it's a message.
But still interesting content. Both interesting.
Yeah, and both part of the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's like telling a story with just different characters. Same story. Needs a good guy. Needs a bad guy. Needs this, but they're part of the same story.
Yeah.
I think that's really insightful. Thank you. That's really good. I like that.
Yeah, man.
I love that.
Yeah.
So, I have to ask, what keeps you going? When because you could interpret this sector, like say, highly competitive.
Yeah.
Subject to quick change. What's been going on in Facebook, for example, and all that kind of stuff. You can wake up and things can be different tomorrow. How are you able to handle that and just be like say, just keep going, just keep
I can do it my way, however I want to do it. So I can wake up in the morning and be like, okay, I know what I'm doing today. I'm just gonna smash that out. And then on the weekend is my time, my downtime, and I know because I'm in charge of my schedule. I can choose when I work, and the luxury for me is I can schedule posts out and automate stuff. Yeah. So say if I wanted to go away on holiday for a week, I can do.
Yeah. So for people watching that don't understand, you're basically saying that you can write something or film something, create some content, and through different platforms have it out for a certain time.
Yeah.
So it doesn't just go out when you've done it.
Yeah.
And it can literally be days in advance.
Yeah. And that'll link into an article that I wrote.
Yeah.
About time saving on social media. So
I didn't even write articles.
Yeah, I dabble in it a little bit. Yeah.
So is that a recent one you've just written?
Yeah. I wrote it yesterday.
Sweet. So where can people get that? Is that on your
LinkedIn.
Yeah. It's a place for articles, isn't it? I like to put it out.
Yeah, man. So it's on my LinkedIn. And it's just about the time saving tools. So like your Hootsuite, your Buffer.
Is it tell
why
you
you should use them?
Why to use it? Does it tell people go into kind of the hows, or is it more kind of the why?
It'll tell you what it. It's not really mega in depth, but it'll tell you what you need to know. So it'll tell you what it is, what it does, why it'd be good for you.
Brilliant. That sounds helpful. So would you say that you're quite a free thinker, quite a free spirit? You wouldn't want kind of like a boss. It's you have that autonomy. Autonomy is really important to you.
I need that headspace to just go off and just do whatever I want.
And like you say, and you can do that. So for people watching this are thinking, I'd like to do something similar. You're saying you can actually do it. It's possible.
Too right. And if somebody wanted to do it exactly the way that I've done it, I started off just with my phone.
Yeah.
I started off with my phone. Yeah. On a Facebook account, and that's a luxury of modern day technology. Is you don't need mad equipment.
No.
You don't need 20 grand, 100 grand to set up a business anymore. You just need a phone contract.
Definitely. And that's like we're saying right at the start and off camera. We're saying thinking about the message. Always think about the message, trying to get across to people, and what people are going to think would they enjoy it, and also the outcome. But I think that's really, really important what you were saying about someone watching this, for example, and then when they watch episode 10, production value is probably going to rise. Episode 20, but they're exactly. Okay with that. Because as long as the content is good and the message is there and the meaning is there and it's genuine, like I look back to some of the original videos I've watched from people, and you see the first ones and they're dimly lit and they're grey and they're
Too right. Well, Gary Vee.
Yeah, perfect example.
Look at one of his one of his first
He started
videos.
off talking about wine, didn't he, with the wine business?
Yeah. What is it? Wine library is it called?
Yeah, and then I think one day he just kind of swore, and it kind of came out, and he liked it, and he was okay with that.
Yeah.
And again, for his audience, that was okay.
Yeah.
So would you say people don't have to kind of get it 100%? It's like just if you've got the message there and it's appropriate, it's on the right platform, you think you're happy with it, kind of 80%, get it out there, get some feedback.
Tailor it along the way.
Yeah. So it's the ability to think, right, okay, I'm doing this, but this is part of something else.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be perfect.
Enjoy it.
Yeah?
Add value.
Sounds good.
Value's the key.
Yeah? So
100%.
if you had to sum it up in kind of 3 things that people could do now, today, to say, right, I've watched this, I love this, I really like what you're saying, I've checked out all these articles, I've checked out all, right, I'm going to take action now, I'm going to do these things. What would you say the 3 things would be?
3 things. What is your idea of success?
Yep. So you need to understand what success means to you.
Where's it going?
Yep.
What's your idea of success? What is valuable to your audience? And where are they?
Brilliant.
And if I could have another,
go on.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
I think that you can forget that sometimes, can't you?
Yeah, social media, social man.
Yeah.
People do forget it.
Yeah.
Even LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Daniel Smith, thank you so much. Episode 1.
Oh,
you see it first. Look at this.
It's
happening. It's happening.
Do it! Just do it!